know what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 What's good, family? I see Florence is here. I see Micah's here. Thank you for coming and hanging out. It's a blast from the past tonight. Just checking, going live on a Monday. No particular reason, no particular agenda. We just live here on YouTube and Facebook. And I was trying out Instagram, but I'm not sure that joint is working. So we'll see. Somebody look on Instagram and see if I'm live, because I can't find it. Not under my own account, at least. Let me see. Let me switch to another account and see if I can find it. Maybe I can find it if I switch to another account. There we go. All right, let's go back home. Yeah, oh, yep, I can see it now. That's weird. I can't see that I'm live on my own account. What's going on, Walt? I see Walt Jeanette has joined. One other person has joined. Cool. And what's wild is that it is showing me right in the center, which is pretty cool over on the Instagrams. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Truly appreciate you. That's crazy how that joint looks on Instagram. And yet I'm just sending a straight stream. So on YouTube, you guys are seeing everything the normal way. Facebook, you're seeing, 16:9 wide, but on Instagram, it's vertical. It's crazy. And now let's see if we can get some comments from Instagram. Yeah. Justin Brown, Primal Video is on here, man. Whoa, what's going on? Thank you for being here, brother. I haven't seen you since we came on the stream show with DJ Strick a couple months back. Yeah, look at that. I got the Instagram comment, everything. That's pretty dope. Now, how does that come on screen? Let's see. Yeah, comes in the middle, which is kind of where I want it. About there, I guess. About right there. Yeah. All right, we got it set up, kind of. Kind of. It would need to be up a little bit further for it to be. Probably make it a little smaller too. All right, about right there, maybe there. So maybe we have it come up like about right there. Let's see how that does. 7 of you guys on the live tonight. Thank you guys for coming in. Oh, don't know what just happened there. Yo, what's going on? Sub-Zero 3639 live says, what's up? Hey, NA Naya, what's going on? Hey, there is a comment from Justin Brown. Hey, what's up, man? So these are comments coming in from Instagram. I'm kicking some tires tonight. I'm doing some things that I've been meaning to do for quite a while and just haven't gotten a chance. So definitely going to check it out. Just joined on desktop. It started out portrait, but just switched automatically to widescreen. That's wild. I don't know how or why it did that, but that's cool. Good evening, Yolanda. Yolanda is on the live with us tonight. Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I'm trying to figure this thing out. This is an enigma to me. I've got I've got to figure out what in the world Instagram is doing with this platform. Every time I test this out, every time I do a video on this, I feel like they change it yet again and again and again. So I'm getting comments through Ecamm from Instagram into Ecamm by some magic that they've worked, and I think that's absolutely awesome. But most platforms you do not get comments, so keep that in mind as well. Let's hide that last comment. Yeah, this is an old school theme that I used to use for my Convos and collab show. Every now and again, I've just pulled these things back out. I haven't deleted them. They're just kind of archived off to the side. So even the countdown music is stuff that I used to use on a regular basis. I'm also just kind of monitoring to make sure I'm seeing all the comments from both Instagram and YouTube in Ecamm, and it looks like everything is working pretty well. David Hunt, what's going on, bro? Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Truly appreciate you coming through and hanging out. He says we late. No, you're not. Actually, you're right on time. There's 9 of you guys on the live tonight. I'm just chopping it up. I have a number of things that I wanted to do, and I was like, man, why don't I just go live? Let me just go live and kind of work while I chat with you guys as well. So if you guys are working on something, if you have any questions about live streaming, anything whatsoever, please put it in the chat. If you have questions about cameras, microphones, you got questions about streaming platforms, especially, definitely put it in the chat. If you're trying to go live on, if you're trying to go live on Instagram, you're trying to go live on, different platforms, you're trying to utilize live streaming for your business, brand, your coach, author, consultant, wherever you find yourself, we want to hear from you and definitely want to see if we can't get you on the joint tonight. Inspiration by, my Tanya TV is here. Inspiration by, I can't read that. Let me pull that a little closer. Inspiration by George. Okay. What's up? Thank you for being with us tonight. It says first time catching the live. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Truly appreciate that. Oh, Miss Tiny TV says, here I am scrolling these IG streets and realize Kirk is up to something. I love that I can put up these comments on IG. That is absolutely cool. Gotta run. Great to see you. Hey, Justin, if you haven't left yet, man, I am going to be speaking at an event in New Zealand in about 2 weeks. I'm pretty certain that's not, I'm just going to be in your region. I highly doubt that you're anywhere near there, but I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be down in your way. I don't know if you're near that way or if you ever get out to that way, but I just wanted to kind of let you know if there's anything that you would recommend that I check out while I'm there. My wife and I are already going to go to Hobbit Town. We're going to be looking at a couple of different things, but I'll be speaking at this event. So there is work to do, so I got to do the work, but then there's some free time as well. And plus it kind of coincides with our anniversary. So we're going to be down there for that. So definitely wanted to just kind of share that with you. It just kind of popped on my mind like, oh man, let me mention this to Justin. Maybe you've already gone. Hopefully you catch it on a replay or something, or maybe I can just drop you a DM on Instagram. But yeah, thank you so much for coming through. Always good to have, so, listen, for those that aren't aware, man, Justin Brown is just absolutely phenomenal in this space. Content creation, his channel, Primal Video, is one that I follow regularly. Whenever they have videos, I definitely make sure to check those out because they're really good resources, practical advice, tips, tools, best practices that you can use in your content journey. So definitely some things to think about there. Equip Institute is doing her good work already tonight. Truly appreciate that. I'm just going to go ahead and DM him because I think maybe he's already gone. But thank you for coming through and hanging out. We appreciate that. 90 you guys on the live tonight, man. Talk to me. What are you guys doing? What are you working on? What do you have up your sleeve? I've got a number of things. I'm actually working on my morning motivation for the week. For those that aren't aware, I do morning motivation on Tuesdays and Thursdays live. On Wednesdays, we have a produced version. Oh, there he says. I'm in Brisbane, about 3 hours flight from NZ. It's great. It'll be cold, so pack for cold weather. Thank you. Somebody else said it would be, You know, it might not be too bad, but for the way you said that, it's like it's a given. It's going to be really cold, so I'm going to definitely make sure I pack accordingly. I'm definitely going to make sure I pack accordingly. Inspiration by George. I don't know if I'm saying that right, so I apologize. But what's your question? Chat with me, man. I would and Justin, thank you so much for responding. I know you got a roll, but it's going to be so cool to be down in the area. It's first time for me, so looking forward to taking it all in and experiencing all that region has to offer. Should be fun. Inspiration by George. What are your questions? Is there anything I can? Oh, okay. She says you're saying it right. Is there anything that I can answer? Anything I can share? Because I definitely want you. It sounds like he says I'm always here for tips. I'm struggling to figure this out. Share with me one scenario. Let's see if we can't get you across the line tonight. And for those that are coming in, 11 of you guys on the live, make sure you ask your questions. Put a Q in front of your questions. Moderators are going to be helping me out tonight. But yeah, hey. Sub-Zero says, hello, Equip. Thank you so much I love that we have that community vibe in here that people can just come in and kind of share with everybody what's going on. All right, here we go. Here's the first question of the night. What is the best software to record a webinar? You know, so all right, let me star these now. George is a sandwich of my kids' middle names, Jordan and Jaden. Oh, that's so cool. I love those. I love those names that have, you know, familial significance. That's the term I'm looking for. If I could speak tonight, I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple. Star this question from Drew as well. And I definitely already have your question, Sub-Zero, but I'm going to start as well since you put a Q in front of the second one. Let's get Sub-Zero's question up here. What is the best software to record a webinar? All right. I like this. You know, I like this. I live for this, in fact. But best software to record a webinar. So here, I hate to answer a question with a question, but a webinar. Okay. Are you recording the webinar live? As in, are you going to have a live audience for the webinar? Or are you going to record your video and then use it as a webinar? And then maybe even use it multiple times as a self-paced thing, but you use it as a webinar. So there's a couple of different angles. Webinars are done. I mean, I've used Webinar Ninja. I've used Zoom. I've used StreamYard. There's so many different ways to pull off a webinar. But the way that the way your question is framed, if I can just take a little stab at it here in terms of an assumption, it sounds like you're gonna do it the way that I like to do it every now and again. So like yesterday's masterclass could have been termed a webinar, but it was live, and so I used Kajabi to deliver that webinar. My masterclass audience was in Kajabi with me in their video platform, and I was able to talk with them real time. But I was also able to record in Ecamm separately from what I recorded in Kajabi. So I have a high quality recording on my computer. I have a decent quality recording in Kajabi, so that those who purchase the course and have access to the replay for the next 28 days, they have that copy. Now, the high quality copy, I'm going to take that and cut that up and make that into something else. I'm not going to use that for a webinar again, but that's where my point comes in. If I wanted to, I could take the recorded version that I did in Ecamm and then use that again for another class or webinar. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But yes, there we go. Okay, I see you now. All right. Cool. Let me unstar your comment. He's responded a couple more times. I'm going to star David Hunt's comment here. All right, cool. So he says yes. And then he says, evergreen, you're going to be using it multiple times. I will record it. Now, what's your delivery system for the webinar? Because it sounds like you already have a delivery mechanism in place. So if you have a delivery mechanism in place, if you could just share what that is, then I would just say, now it's really kind of up to you. I'm assuming that in your webinar, you might have some slides, you might have some graphics, you might have some different things that you want to do. I mean, listen, if you're going to have it recorded, what you're really saying isn't necessarily what's the best platform to record a webinar. You're just saying, what's the best platform to record a video? Now, I'm going to say Ecamm Live Pro. That's what I'm using right now to go live. That's what I use to record all my videos for my YouTube channel. Now, some of those videos, follow me, some of those videos I edit, and some of those videos I just push them as they are. So like earlier today, I recorded an entire podcast with all the different things that I would normally include in my podcast, with the jump cuts and the pull-ins and pull-outs. I had a scene where there was 3 of me on there. I had another scene where I had this live stream statistics. My podcast is called Why I Go Live podcast, and so I always share statistics of live streaming on there. But one of the things that I was able to do is basically mimic all the things that I used to do in post, right? I used to do these in DaVinci Resolve. I did them in Ecamm. So now when I record the whole thing, I have a finished product. I don't need to edit that video anymore. And I've really been getting used to using my pedal, right? So my Stream Deck pedal, which is, that's what I just used right now to change the scene back and forth, you see. So I've been getting used to using my Stream Deck pedal so that I have my hands free to kind of make it seem like I have a producer. So Ecamm Live Pro is what I use to record my podcast, and you could easily use that to record your webinar as well. And then you could push it out to whatever. Yeah. I see your comment now. So he's saying Stealth Seminar is what you're going to use. So then it doesn't matter. Now you're not really concerned about what's going to happen with the webinar. Now you got to figure out, okay, in this video, because your video is the webinar and it's evergreen. You want to make sure, you have your notes. You want to make sure you have your slides, graphics, whatever you're going to want to have come up on screen. You're going to want to have all those things set up, or you can just record the video and in post, you can edit all those things into it. So there's a couple different options that you have there, bro. I wouldn't necessarily, hamstring yourself to any one. You have a lot of options. So definitely go for it. Go for it. Here we go. I'm going to star your comment, George A. Inspiration by George A. Now let me go back to, so hopefully that answered the question, Sub-Zero, but come back and let me know if I didn't answer it properly. But Kirk's personal opinion and my favorite go-to platform is Ecamm Live Pro. So that would be what I would recommend. All my Instagram folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I see several of you are joining, and I see we got more over on the tube of views. YouTube, thank you so much for being here. I got 4 likes on the video already. Let's go. All right. I see your question, Inspiration by George A. Let me grab, I think there's 1 or 2 ahead of you. One of them is Drew Davis. Drew J. Davis says, is the live streaming from an iPad a no-no? Is live streaming from an iPad a no-no? Okay. So Drew, I hope you're still here. And so what I would say is it's not necessarily a no-no. I just, maybe let's understand the different types of streams. Let's first define, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to achieve? You can stream with your iPad. Actually, there are many times where streaming with an iPad is sufficient. But the fact that you asked the question lets me know that you already know that it's a very base level, okay? This is a very base level of streaming. It doesn't matter what platform you're using. If you're connecting in from an iPad, you're at a very base level. Now, I've seen people connect this mic to their iPad. That's pretty cool. I've seen people use their phone, right? Their iPhone as their camera for the iPad and then have a professional mic. That person has got a whole scenario. They've got a whole rig going on. And that's actually, in my opinion, a couple levels up from just the base of using the webcam on the iPad and just talking into the air. Some people use AirPods. I'm not a fan, but you already know that that's a very base level of live streaming. So let's take it a step back. Number 1, are you somebody who is just streaming for the sake of streaming? You're just having fun. You're engaging your audience. You're really not trying to, make a go of this thing. You're not trying to impress brands. You're not trying to, funnel clients to your business. You're not trying to establish yourself as a thought leader in a given space. You're not trying to grow and engage an audience. You're just streaming for the sake of streaming. And if that's the case, man, put that iPad to work. Let's go. If that's the case. But if any of the things that I mentioned are part of what you want to do, All right. This is, I have to get this question all the time. Why can't I use Zoom to live stream? Because Zoom is not a live streaming platform. Zoom is a meeting platform that has the ability to stream. And when you stream with Zoom, everybody can see everything that you're doing. When you share the screen, we can see the mouse moving around. That is not production. And maybe you don't care. And that's okay if that's the level you want to stay at. So as long as we understand, like, okay, what am I trying to achieve with this? Now, I have clients, most of my clients, they're looking to grow and engage an audience. They're looking to funnel clients to their business. They're looking to establish themselves as a thought leader in their space, in their niche, in their discipline. Okay. And in those instances, I'm saying your live stream quality is like having on a formal suit. It's like having on formal attire. You showing up with your iPad is like, yo, t-shirt, flip-flops, I'm chilling. And that's okay for those who are chilling. But for those who are like, nah, this is real for me. I'm about that business life. I want to use this to make some money. Then guess what? You're going to have to actually invest. And so hopefully that makes sense to you, brother. I'm going to go back to the regular comments right now just to see if I'm missing it, if I missed anything. I think I caught everybody. Gary Jones is on the live. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us tonight. But Drew, I hope you're still there. I don't see you still in the comment section. That's the only challenge with trying to catch these. Inspiration by George A. I'm coming to you next, right after this one. So this one is from David Hunt on YouTube. And I see we got 7 people over on Instagram. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. So David Hunt says, my ATEM Mini Extreme, my ATEM Mini Extreme channel number 1 is not working, like it's blank. Have you seen anything like that? So yes, I have. And what I've noticed is that the ATEM, especially the Extreme, the Extreme ISO, the big one, the 8-port, sometimes it just needs a reset. Sometimes you need to do a firmware update. Sometimes you just need to wipe the joint and start fresh. I don't know what happens. There's something that gets sticky in there. So definitely connect to the software, the Blackmagic software, and just do some regular maintenance. You run through the utilities and see if it frees up that port. And if it doesn't, then there's a guide on how to just kind of blank your ATEM and then bring it back up. So, but here's the other question though, David Hunt. Are you really using all 8 ports that that missing port number 1 is going to kill you? I don't know. Maybe you're just going to do some, I don't know, picture-in-picture stuff on there. I don't know. But however you're doing that, whatever you're doing there, I'll be interested in knowing. Drew J. Davis says, thanks, Kirk. I hope that answered the question. It's all going to be dependent on what you want to achieve with it. It's not a no-no. Definitely not a no-no. I've seen many people stream with their iPads, but, yeah. Yeah, my dad has a saying, it's very expensive to live cheap. And so I those are words I live by. I see you, Dr. Bishara. Dr. Bishara was one of the attendees of our masterclass yesterday, and I'm glad that you're with us tonight. Look at Mary Lou Mando. Are you on Instagram? Yes, you are. Of course you are. You listen to Kirk. He knows what he's talking about. This is my good friend, y'all. And if you're not following Mary Lou, you need to do that real quick. Like, stop what you're doing. Go ahead and follow her right now. She's an amazing creator. Somebody who I have the privilege of doing some collabs with, and definitely got to get her on the live show. We had her on the podcast, but I got to get her on the live show so she can kind of engage. She does a lot of Q&A with her audience as well. In fact, this format that I'm doing now, streaming to YouTube and to Instagram, I actually lifted this straight from her. I saw her do it. I was like, oh, that's a really dope setup. So definitely want to make sure I get a chance to shout her out when I can. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Mary Lou Mandel. Definitely check her out. Okay, inspiration by George A. Your question says, my question is surrounding reach. I've been stuck on 22K on IG, and 441 on YouTube. The algorithm is so hard to master. It's not the algorithm. So let's just change the terminology. It's not the algorithm. Let me tell you what the algorithm was built to do. The algorithm was built to put the right content in front of the people who need and or want or searching for that content. Let me say that again. Now, I'm going to have to put your comment down because it's blocking my face a little bit. The algorithm was designed and built to put content from any given creator in front of the person who wants said content. Now, since you've reached 22,000 on Instagram in terms of your followers, I would ask, what is the type of content that you're putting out? Now, before you answer that, there's 2 sub questions I want to ask you. So content is here. The 2 sub questions is, for each piece of content, is the target audience the same? Is the target audience for that content the same? Is it the same? Meaning I'm serving the same audience over and over and over and over. See, my audience is creators, streamers, anybody that wants to leverage social platforms to be able to meet their own goals. Now, those goals vary widely. And really, I could really kind of serve anybody. But I really focus in on those who are purpose-driven. See, I'm starting to stack to get down to my niche audience. Purpose-driven, those who have a message or have a burning desire to get something out there. And then lastly, I'm really looking to serve those who are visual learners, because I'm a visual teacher. Right? Very practical, hands-on, not very theoretical. I do want to make sure that the concepts are understood, but I want to make sure that you learn by doing. It leaves an impression that is far deeper than by listening. So that's me in a nutshell. Oh my goodness. My friends are showing up from all over, man. Cast Ahead is on the live tonight. That's my guy. What's going on, sir? What's good? So I hope you're still here. Information by George A. I hope you're still here. All right. Because I'm not done with your question just yet. Let's go back to it real quick. I'm going to put it back up. So you've got 22,000 on Instagram, 441 on YouTube. And so first question I want to ask you, and maybe you just write this down. Maybe you go take a thoughtful moment and figure some of these questions out. Maybe you book a discovery call. Maybe you come and check us out in terms of our coaching programs. There's should be some stuff scrolling on the bottom of the screen. I don't see it scrolling right now. It's a little bit of a concern of mine, but I'm hoping that it'll start scrolling here pretty soon. Yeah, it's scrolling now. Okay. But my second question would be, so first one is, are you serving the same target audience with every piece of content? Or is it disjointed? Like if I were to subscribe because I got this piece of content from you, and then tomorrow I got something totally different that wasn't necessarily what I subscribed for, would if that is true, then we're already describing a problem. So that's first piece. The second piece, still pertaining to content, because I'm going to get to the last one, the third piece, second piece we're going to touch right now. Third piece is more so going to be around the value proposition. Let's put a pin in that. Third piece is value proposition. So the first piece we talked about is, are you serving the same target audience with your content? Number one. Number two, is your content coming from your lived experience? I see that you're still in the chat. I just saw a comment come in from you. Is your content coming from your lived experiences? Meaning, is your content, I'm not saying that you stop and say, hey guys, these are my credentials. This is what I've done. No. Naturally interwoven into the content is the fact that this is what you do, is the fact that this is how I've lived, is the fact that I've done it wrong and I learned from that, and I want to make sure you do it right. I don't know what type of content you put out there, but I want to make sure that your content is vulnerable, or the other term that some people like to use is authentic, meaning you have street credibility in this particular area. Like, we're not new to this, we true to this. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? You just new to me, and you can come on in here and get this value. Several points throughout this live show tonight, I've actually shared with people that I'm a coach, that I do content creation, that I teach people how to do some of these things. And you can infuse that into the content without that being the point of what you're sharing. So terms like, I had a coaching client, and one of the things that we talked about as we were looking at his social media profile, I was doing a bit of an audit, and I found out that he really wasn't responding to comments. And I was telling him he was leaving so much on the table. And when we went through his comments, we found a comment there from somebody who was a big brand, and that big brand was reaching out to him to try to work with him. And he missed the opportunity because that comment was almost 3 months old. This is not a fake story. This is a real story. But what I want to share with you is that in that story, I've shared with you my street cred. You see what I'm saying? I've shared with you that in a coaching session, which already tells you what I do, I was able to find for my client something that an area that he had missed. You see what I'm saying? And these are some of the types of things that your content should be able to do. You've got to be able to maneuver and massage a conversation. Let me tell you one of the people that I study. I still go back and watch some of her old interview type, when she had a show. I still go back and watch that show, not what she's doing currently. I still go back and watch that show because it's the anatomy of the interview. This person could ask a question and elicit a response that the interviewee had no intention to answer, no intention to share. And this lady's name is Oprah. And people think that content creation is, I've got the right light, I've got the right camera, I've got the right microphone. Actually, it's about asking the right question. And if you go to google.com, I'm in my bag now. And if you go to google.com and you see that little bar that's on the screen, nothing else is there except for a nice little way that they've put Google. And there's a blinking cursor. And you know what the blinking cursor is asking you to do? Even though they don't give you any instructions, it's asking you to give me your question. That's what the algorithm is asking you to do as well. You've got to tell the algorithm, this is the question I'm answering. This is the problem I'm solving. This is the audience that I'm serving. Put that audience in front of this content and it's going to blow up. The algorithm wants you to succeed, but we have to speak the language. And so hopefully that's helpful to you. I see. Let me go back and see if I catch anything here. Lyndon Brathwaite says, "What's up, Kirk from Trinidad and Tobago? What's going on? Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Truly appreciate you." All right. Yep. Information by Georgia. She has responded. She says, "I'd say yes. My target audience is women. I inspire them to see themselves the way God sees them. It probably might be a bit disjointed if I have to go back and look at that." That's good. That's good. And what she shared next is that it's definitely my lived experience. And so you want to share from that place. You want to share from the place of, I was not looking at myself the way God looks at me, the way God sees me. And what did that cause? You want to share, you want to lead every single piece of content by talking about the imbalance of your view of yourself and the way God viewed you, and what seeing yourself the way God sees you fixes. You, by the way, you're a purpose-driven content creator, so you're exactly the type of person I like to work with. Wow, thanks so much. I need to book a call. Please tell me how to do that. You can do that right on the screen. KirkRNugent.live/book me. KirkRNugent.live/book me is the place to do that. You're on Instagram, so my moderators are not going to be able to help you over there. So I'm just going to put it in the chat. KirkRNugent.live/book me. You're going to grab a discovery call. KirkRNugent.live/book me. That's the link. You can't click it on Instagram, but I hope that at least you can copy it. I commented as my page handle because I can't, apparently for some reason I can't watch my own show under my own name. But anyway, you get the point. KirkRNugent.live/book me. Whoa, I don't know what just happened. It's like the whole thing just zoomed in all of a sudden. I don't know what just happened there. I'm not sure what's going on. That is the weirdest thing. Why is it doing that? Okay, please stop. Instagram, stop tripping. Okay, Got it. She says, thank you. I'm looking forward to meeting up with you. Excited about what you're doing and the people that you're serving. And I think that we need more. We need more. Dr. Bishara Wilson has a question. And so he says, I'd like to create one long form YouTube and a live stream weekly. Also 5 shorts from those videos and original ones too. Where did you find the time in your busy schedule when you first started? Okay. So when I first started, first of all, you have the benefit of understanding that, that content works this way. That's first of all, you have the benefit of understanding that content works like this. Yeah, you have the benefit of understanding that content works like this. Okay. Information by George A. My moderator is saying, don't forget the HTTPS at the beginning. So https://kirkarnugent.live/book me. Okay. Just thank you for that, moderators. So I put that on the screen as well. So Doc Bishara, if you're still here, just drop a comment. I want to make sure that I'm not talking into the ether. I want to make sure I'm talking to a person. But you have the benefit of knowing that content works this way. That content, you may need some shorts, both original shorts, and you may need, what's the term I'm looking for? Shorts that you're pulling from repurposed content. So you have the benefit of knowing that. And because you have that benefit, you recognize the value of putting out content in multiple different ways. Now, how did I have time to do that when I was getting started? When I was getting started, I didn't start with all those types of content. I did one live show a week. I was doing one video a week to begin, right? I started doing one video. I probably did one video sporadically. And then after a while, I recognized that consistency was key. And so I started doing one video a week. That was my goal. And I was trying to get ahead of the curve. So I wanted to make sure I had at least a couple months in the can. These are all things that I teach in the coaching program, by the way. But I was trying to get ahead of the curve. So I was trying to do one video a week. I added to my load one live show per week. Now, my live show was very focused on high production value. I wanted to make sure that all the different things were there, that stuff was spinning in on, I wanted people to come to the live show and be like, I need this guy to produce my stuff. That was one of the major purposes of my live show. So yes, I wanted to have these phenomenal, ridiculous, awesome conversations with content creators and different people of different disciplines from all over. But I also wanted to ensure people could see my live show and be like, dang, how did he do that? Like, why is there a white frame around his camera? Why is it glowing? It's like, how do you put his signature up there? Like, well, there's a ticker on the bottom and it goes behind the live streaming advice. What in the world is that? I need to know how to do that. And I wanted that particular effect. And this is one of the reasons why I'm spending time here, Doc Bishara, is because I want to make sure you don't miss that piece. It is critically important to understand why you're creating each one of these pieces of content. What's the end game? If the end game is just so that you can say, I now create this amount of content, that's not a big enough why. And you'll get burned out. It's a guaranteed way to burn yourself out. So one of the things I also like to say to folks is that live streaming, in Kirk's opinion, is at the top of the content creation pyramid. Because you can get everything from a live stream. You cannot get a live stream from any of those other pieces of content. You do a podcast, you can't get a live stream from that. But if I do a live stream, I can get a podcast from it. If I structure the live stream right. If I do a live stream, I can get shorts from it, but I can't get a live stream from shorts. And so a live stream, I'm giving you the answer to the question now, even though this is not how it was when I started out. But the answer to your question is it's being strategic in your planning of your live stream so that your live stream gives you the video. The live stream gives you the shorts. The live stream gives you the audiograms and the quote memes and the podcast and the blog posts from the transcript. The live stream gives you all of the things. I have a client, not coaching client now. This is a production client. He's very limited on time. And one of the things I said to his team was, can we do maybe 1 hour a month. They were like, we could probably 2 hours a month. I'm like, 2 hours a month? Oh, great. They were like, whoa, what are you going to do with 2 hours a month? I'm like, we're going to do a live show. And in the live show, we structured it in such a way so that he gets, from every live show, we walk away with over 50 pieces of content, 50 unique pieces of content. And it's the way that this live show is structured. And because it's live, he already knows there's no redo. This is a mental hack, right? Because it's live, there's no do-over. There's something that happens when we know that we can hit the stop button, or we can, let's do that again. There's something that happens when we know that this is, let's just do another take. Something that happens. We waste a lot of time when we know that it's not live. When somebody walks up to the microphone on the main stage at whatever conference that they're speaking at, they're not going to ask everybody, oh, sorry, let's start over. No, they're just going to work through it. They're going to deliver. Everybody's standing in front of you. Can't tell them to rewind. They're live. Oh gosh, I hope that somebody catches it. They're live. And so we structure the live show in such a way that he's able to have a moment at the beginning where he's talking about his industry, his niche, and some of the news. There's another portion of the show where he has an interview with a guest, not very long. That's his podcast. There's another portion of the show where he's doing Q&A with the audience. And many times the Q&A is his own team members, because we only have like 4 or 5 people watching the live show. And many of them are from his own office. But you got to understand what I'm saying. The live stream was never created for him to become this big mogul with thousands of people watching his live show. The live stream, the purpose of the live stream is for him to have relevant, original content that his team can post all over the interwebs like digital confetti. I'm done with you. I'm done. I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question, Doc Bashara. I don't even know if you're here anymore, but your question allowed me to really look at that thing from a different perspective, and I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Inspiration by George A says, "This is some good gems." Absolutely. I'm glad. This was a random live stream tonight. I just decided, you know what? It's Monday night. My wife and I are not doing the incubator's couch. Let me just go ahead and go live and see what happens. So let me see what Florence is talking about here. So Florence says, do you record your intro shorts separate from your long form videos? No, I record. Oh, that's so good. Thank you so much for that question. I record them just like how I'm looking at the camera right now. So I'll give you the game. Now I'll be honest with you. This is all in a video that I put out on my channel, and it's actually right on my YouTube channel, right on the main page. Drew J. Davis says, "This is some good game. Go ahead, Pastor." Thank you for the comment, sir. Appreciate you. Oh my word. Okay. All right. Let me see what I can pull up here. Now, I script the beginning portion and the end portion of every one of my YouTube videos. The reason why I script the beginning portion, because you only have a few seconds to capture attention. You only have a few seconds to capture attention. It's one of the reasons why I got rid of the countdown clocks, even though I did one tonight. It's one of the reasons why I threw out the countdown clock, because I realized that even for live streams, I only have a few seconds to capture their attention. I don't want them coming in and seeing a clock and music. So I got rid of it. I use that whole thing at the end though. But anyway, my point is, I script the beginning and I script the end, because I want to make sure that at the beginning, I grab attention. I make sure that they know they're in the right place. This is the right video. Or I want to make sure that they know this is the wrong place. This is the wrong video. And you can get out of here right now. Both are equally as important. Both are equally as important. I don't mind somebody saying, oh, this is not for me. If they can come to that realization quick and get out of there, that's fine with me. But for the person who is just kind of skeptical, like, okay, I have my followers who are going to watch my stuff regardless of what I do. They're just, because this is how content creation works. This is how branding works. We don't resonate with entities and organizations and large scale, brands. We resonate with people. So people don't necessarily resonate. That's why my channel is not called How It All Works, even though that's my show name. That like the logo is right here. My channel name is not How It All Works. My channel name is Kirk R. Nugent, because people resonate with people. And so over time, because I've won their trust, know, like, and trust, because I've won their trust, they're just going to watch because it's Kirk. I'm not saying that this is only applying to me. This applies to everyone. They just going to watch because it's 24-hour boss. They going to just watch because it's inspiration by George A. They just going to watch because it's David Hunt. That's over time. But in that middle, that initial phase, so you have that group that's going to watch regardless. You have that group who's going to realize this is not for me and you want them to leave. And then you have that other group. This is the largest group of people that are going to watch your content. This group of people who were searching and came across what you have to say. And you want to capture their attention and confirm that they're in the right place, or you want to inspire enough curiosity in them such that they're like, isn't necessarily what I was looking for, but based on what he just said, I kind of want to see what the video's about. And that's right. That right there is why I script the beginning of my videos. Why do I script the end of the videos? The end of the video, I script it because I want to usher them to the next piece of content. YouTube does not only reward average view duration, AVD, they also reward viewer session times. The session time means I watched one video and then watched another video and then watched another video. And if I can usher to them hey, you know what? You should check out the Why I Go Live podcast. And I've got it right here. The Why I Go Live. If you don't believe me, check out this video right here. That ushering to the next video is critically important to ensure that I'm stringing together a longer session, and YouTube honors that. Oh, this guy has figured out how to keep them on platform longer. Bet. I'm sending more people his way. As long as they want his kind of content, I'm recommending his content first. And that's why I scripted. Now, the part of the question that you asked was, the beginning part of every one of my video is also the short. So my short is scripted. And my team knows that's beginning part of the video. I'm going to give the viewer all of the points that are in the full video in the short video. I'm just not going to elaborate. Here's three reasons, three benefits that content creators are leaving on the table by not going live. And I list off the three things. I'm going to go into each one of these in depth in the full video. That's the end of the short. Done. Put the short out there. You got the full value. And this is the piece that most people miss when it comes on to content creation, when it comes on to repurposing and understanding, okay, what do I need to put out there? Your shorts are not advertisements. They should be a full meal. They should be, when they eat that, they're good to go. If every time you put something out there, you're just dangling the carrot and you keep on pulling it away from them, like, I'm done with this guy. I'm done with this guy. I don't want to hear his full video. I don't care how good it sounds. I don't care how enticing it is. It may work a little bit for some people, but it's not going to work all the time. And so you want to make sure that in the short, they get value. Here are three benefits creators are leaving on the table. I'm saying this one because this is the video that just dropped on my channel literally on Sunday, like yesterday. These are three benefits that creators are leaving on the table by not streaming. And I give them the three benefits in the short. Now, here's another thing that I see people do. They will drop the video and the short at the same time. Give the video time to organically have its own reach. I have the short created immediately the same time I create the video, but the video dropped on Sunday. The short won't drop for another month or two. I'm giving the video time to have its organic reach. And then I'll drop the short out there because the short is its own piece of value. And then once that value is consumed, somebody invariably is going to say, this guy gave me value in the short. What in the world is in the full video? Let me go and check it out. Guess what happens to the video now? Now that the video has it's probably tapered off in terms of its views. And then once that short hits, boom, it goes back up again. This is what we call being intentional, understanding the algorithms, putting together a strategy that will enable you to meet your goals. All right, let me shut up. I feel like I'm talking too much now. Can you tell I like to talk? This is what I like to do. All right, let me see what we got here. Bishara says, thank you. Hey, Doc, anytime. It was so good to meet you, face to face, video to video, as they say in the masterclass yesterday. Thank you so much for being with us today as well. Yes to the digital confetti, Equip Institute says. So glad I clicked on this live. Inspiration by George A says, oh man, I'm glad that you clicked on the live as well. We are excited to have you with us tonight. 24-hour boss says, what's going on, Kirk and family? It's been a minute. It sure has, man. It sure has been a minute. I'm glad that you're with us tonight. Always good to have you come through. Let me see what else we got. Good tips about intro and end. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, he says, we watch because it's Kirk. Facts. No, I'm just, listen, real talk. This is, you get to a point where folks are just like, I don't really care. I don't really know what he's saying, but I'm going to put it on. Let me see what Kirk's talking about this week. You're not even searching. You are a subscriber. You've come to the point where you're like, I just kind of trust what he has to say. Maybe it's not even something I was looking for, but now that I've heard it, I'm like, man, that's not a bad idea. Yo, Hank, what's good, fam? Thank you so much for coming through tonight. I haven't seen you since Creator Camp. Definitely gotta retouch base, man. Gotta touch base again. Takeaway: letting the full video breathe. Come on, Florence. Come on, Florence. Let the full video breathe. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. And Enea says, you're a genius. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh man, no, I love this stuff. If you can't tell. I live and breathe this stuff, man. And one of the things I always say to folks is like, it's not against you. I know that it seems that way, and it's easy to say that because it's like everybody else is experiencing growth and I'm not. But I mean, I honestly, for many of my coaching clients, I just say to them, man, you're looking a lot, because a lot of times we are defining growth by the wrong metric. We're defining growth by the wrong metric a lot of times. And so one of the things I'll say to you, Inspiration by George A, is 22,000 followers on Instagram is nothing to scoff at. This is nothing. That's a major undertaking. There's an entire deep dive that you should do, that you could do in your content to understand where that growth came from so that you could replicate it. And a lot of times the data is trying to speak to us, but we don't speak the language. So the messages are not received. And I'll tell you this, man, the base for success in these creator streets is being able to speak data. It is. I know it's not sexy. It's not lights and cameras. It's data, and you got to learn it. You do. But here's the other thing I want to quickly add, because I don't want anybody to leave here tonight and be like, oh, snap, I just need to, get a master's degree in YouTube analytics. That's not the point, because that's not a big enough why. Here's one of the intangibles that people don't recognize when it comes on to content. And I'm going to use our live tonight, because I think I'm done. I don't see any more questions coming in. I'm gonna probably land the plane here pretty soon, but I'm gonna use tonight's live. Tonight, I actually my plan was to just kind of come live, and I figured, one or two people might jump on. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a conversation. I have some things that I'm going to be working on, and you'll have some things you'll be working on, which kind of work together, kind of like an office hours kind of a vibe. But you noticed what happened as soon as people started asking questions, especially questions about content creation. Did you notice? Did you see it? Did you see the spark in my eye? Did you see that hunger, that desire? Did you recognize the way that my voice changed? That I'm not tired anymore? I'm not exhausted? If you saw it, then you know what I'm talking about. This is the intangible. This is the thing that the data will never be able to anticipate or to capture. When people see you do your thing, when they see that light bulb go on, it's infectious. It's contagious. Content that has that thing infused in it is content that will fly. And this is why it's so critical to get that target audience and value proposition correct. What are you going to talk about? Because if it's, listen, when people hear you, ooh, oh my, let me fix it. When people see you talk about your thing, they should immediately be like, that's the joint right there. Oh my goodness. I had a teacher in college. This is one of, like, my sister's 2 years younger than me, but we went to the same college. And so statistics class is one of the only classes that we got a chance to take together. And if she was watching tonight, she would already be like, Kirk, I know what you're going to say. And this guy's name, I don't even remember his real name, but I remember, in the course of the statistics course, in the course of the statistics class, he shared with us this theorem, right? And the theorem was called Chebyshev's theorem. Now, some of y'all are going to, you're mathematicians, you know all these things way better than me. I just remember that one term. You know why I remember that term? Because we stopped calling the teacher by his real name. We started calling him Chebyshev. You know why we called him Chebyshev? Because your boy, when he was explaining the Chebyshev's theorem, he was so excited. He was so, like, he had to calm himself down when he talked about that theorem and what it helped you to solve and how it expanded. Oh my word. When he talked about that thing, everybody in the room was quiet, mouths agape, pen on paper, laser focused attention. Why? Because the man was doing what he was called to do. That was his gifting. That was his superpower. As he was standing up front there, he was telling us these statistics things. We were like, oh my God, I love statistics. I don't know why. I didn't know that I loved statistics before. No, we don't love statistics. It was contagious. We were being taught by the right teacher. We're being taught by somebody who lived it and breathed it. And it's what they were created to do, and it oozed out of him. And so if your thing, if your topic, if your content area, if your niche isn't something that just oozes, like when you get in your bag, like nothing is better than that thing. If that's not the case, then it doesn't matter about the analytics. It doesn't matter about the analytics. Doesn't matter how much we study the data. Doesn't matter. It won't make a difference because people can tell you're not excited about it. They're not excited about it. and I'm gonna tell you right now, I still to this day, I would never go into teaching math, but I still to this day remember that class 20 something years later. I remember that class. I remember that teacher. I remember his face when he was explaining that theorem to us. I remember talking with my sister after the class saying, man, Chebyshev was in his bag today. It's contagious. It's contagious. All right, I feel like, yeah. We went overboard today. I know. What y'all saying out there tonight? Let's bring it down a couple notches. We went way deep. We went to morning motivation, kind of, sort of. And let me get back to some comments, some things here. I am Derval has joined us. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Pastor Hells is with us tonight. Is that let me see. That's cool. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And there's 15 of you guys over on YouTube. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Any final questions before we lay it down? It's been 58 minutes of fire. Thank you so much for your questions tonight. I'm not seeing any more questions come through. I don't know if y'all have gone, if y'all I don't know. I don't know if y'all, maybe I scared you away. I don't know. But I hope that those of you who were going to book an appointment are going to, because I would love to work with you, man. I tell you what, I'd love to work with you. 24-hour boss says, got to work on bringing passion to the lives. Absolutely. Danita Lachelle says, excellent, my friend. Excellent. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Danita. Where are you, by the way? Are you still... Because I know you were traveling a little bit there, right? So, you're on Instagram. So cool. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, sis. You always come through. Danita is my sister from another mister. Definitely. Every time Florence types the voice in the chat, I'm just, I have to just pause and laugh. But Danita is good people. And somebody that is definitely family to me. And so definitely excited to see her and have her on. Always good to have your support, fam, tonight. So we just, just something random. Just decided. I said to Kanika earlier, I was like, man, I'm gonna go live tonight. She's like, oh yeah. I said, yeah, no, I'm gonna go live. I don't really know what I'm gonna say. I don't really know what I'm gonna do, but let's go live tonight and just see what we come up with, And it looks like it was worthwhile. It looks like it moved the needle. Looks like we got some people across the line, and that's what I'm all about. I'm all about that. Paula P says, let's see what you got. Says, I'm new to the digital marketing industry and need a one-on-one, Pastor Nugent. A one-on-one, Pastor Nugent. Hey, come on through. I'd love to have you. The link, I put it in I put it in Instagram earlier. I'm going to try and put it in there again. It's just kirkarnugent.live/bookme, BOOKME. Okay, let me try and type this in here. / Kirk R. Nugent. There's another really cool guy named Kirk Nugent that has a lot of, he has the handle. He got to it first. He's older than me. He actually is also from Jamaica. And we, even though we haven't figured out where, we have basically we've just concluded that we're family. So I just put it on. I'm going to put it on the screen real quick for you. There it is. kirkarnugent.live/bookme. You go to that page. You can grab a discovery call, and let's chat it up. Let's figure out what working together might look like. And maybe I just need to refer you to something, or maybe there's just a course that you need. I don't know. Maybe just joining the Workers Warehouse. Maybe that's what you need to be on. I don't know. But the way that you framed your comment there, Paula P, I think Kanik says you don't ever need a script. I think I would definitely want to learn some more, because you're saying I'm new to digital marketing industry. That's a very specific term. So I would love to know what you're hoping to use digital marketing for, or is that actually what your industry is? So definitely want to chat with you about that and hear a little bit more. Let's see what we got. You don't ever need. Wow, this is my wife, y'all. She's like, you don't need a script. You out here just chatting it up, just chatting for no good reason. That's absolutely correct. No. David Hunt, don't be co-signing now, Doc. Don't co-sign. Darius O'Kane says, glad to be here. Always great info, my friend. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Truly appreciate you coming and hanging out with us tonight. Tunde, my guy, says, hey, Bishop, what's going on, bro? I haven't seen you since the days of cafe. I truly appreciate you coming through. He says, great thanks. She says, great thanks. Absolutely. My pleasure. I hope that you can find some time on there, because I know my stuff is getting booked up. I was trying to meet with somebody, and I sent them some links earlier today. And the guy was like, yo, I couldn't find a time that worked for me until like early July. I was like, my bad, dude. It's we got some travel and some other things going on, so it gets a little hectic, but I'm hoping that we can connect. This is somebody that I'm really hoping to do some stuff with. So he's a writer. I hope that you guys are pushing in your own spaces, man. I really hope that you are. Yes, it's been a while. I'm hoping to do more on Instagram now that I know that it works like this, because this is actually pretty dope. Like, for those that are on YouTube, you still see, the whole thing, the full video, so like if my hands are out like this, you can actually see my hands, my fingers. Whereas on Instagram, they're just seeing up to not even my elbows, actually. So it's crazy that Ecamm now sends the feed to both places, one vertical, the other wide or landscape. So definitely going to do more of this. Because I can engage my OG audience and I can engage my Instagram audience. So, Equip Institute is asking, is the IG stream vertical? And the answer is yes, it is. So let me see if I could, let me do this without tumbling stuff on my desk here. There it is. So that's what it looks like there, sis, in Ecamm. I mean, on Instagram. So yeah, it's vertical. It's vertical. So hopefully that that gives you an idea of what that looks like. Looking so clean in this. Is this Ecamm? That is Ecamm, sir. That is Ecamm. This is Ecamm. Ecamm fam. Ecamm always does the thing, man. So I just like can't. There's no reason to make changes. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. This joint just works. So I'm excited about that. Thank you for coming through, man. There's like a whole group of people that I have not been engaging because I haven't been doing. I just don't. I don't prefer streaming with the phone. So the only way that I was able to stream with the phone before, stream to Instagram before, was by having the phone here and then, doing everything here. But now, not only am I able to stream to both with Ecamm, I'm streaming, I'm getting the comments as well. Like that's a game changer. That is a game changer. So, and I'll tell you what, one of the things I learned is you can stream to all your other destinations with Restream, and with Restream, like say, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, you could stream to those with Restream and then stream to Instagram directly from Ecamm along with Restream. So in Ecamm, you could just have those two destinations, Restream and Instagram, and you're good to go. Because it works. It just works. I get all my comments coming in. I can see all the comments in Ecamm. Don't have to go anywhere else. So that's been really cool. That's been really cool. Oh, Kanik says she's switching to Insta. Switching to IG. Yeah. Come on over. The water's fine. Instagram is rolling tonight. Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, man, I recorded an entire podcast episode with graphics and pull-ins and pull-outs and other dynamics, all in Ecamm without 1 second of editing. Not 1 second of editing. And I'm just sitting here like, man, the amount of podcasts that I can put out now because I've done the work. Now, to set it up, it took time. But now that it's set up, it's a repeatable process. I can just, boom, kick it out. So I am super excited about this. It's like a combination. When you find the right combination of tools, it could be a game changer, y'all. Like a real game changer. Like, boom, there we go. Now we're back. Now we're hands free, and we're just moving back and forth between these two scenes. Why? Because I have a pedal underneath the desk, and I can hit it with my feet. And here's another thing that I've learned about the Stream Deck pedal is that it doesn't, well, to me, it doesn't feel right if you have on socks. In fact, it feels like I'm going to slide and hit one of the pieces of the pedal that I don't want to hit. So I'm always, that's one of the things I've been sharing with people is like, if you take your socks off, you have that tactile response. You can feel your way around and be like, okay, this is the side button. This is the middle button. This is the other side button. And I can, adequately kind of shift between my different scenes without having to worry about it because I have everything kind of already defined. I know exactly what I need to press, and I can do it in a way that is natural that people don't necessarily see the difference. So hopefully that makes sense, y'all. I see a question. Are you switching to recording podcasts in Ecamm from Riverside? So the season 2 of the Why I Go Live podcast is starting up. I will be doing the first 5 or so episodes solo. So because I'm doing them solo, I can do them in Ecamm, no problem. When I start having guests again, I will definitely be using Riverside, because it I get the higher quality. I don't want 720p. I want 4K. And so many of my guests are streamers and content creators. So I know that they have cameras and equipment that are capable of 4K. So I want to make sure that the streaming or the recording platform that I'm using is going to give me the highest quality. And right now, Riverside really does that for me. So that's where I'm at with that. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Thank you for that question, by the way. Oh, there you go, Kanik. Kanik came over. Love it. Tunde is laughing at something. Oh, man. I love this. I love it. 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 David Hunt is sharing that people need to go ahead and get them some Ecamm. There it is. All right, so we got that comment there. Are you connected USB or HDMI? Which is better? Gerard Gibson, thank you for the question. Oh, you were laughing at the socks off. Yes. Thank you for, no, but I will tell you right now, Elgato should just put that instruction in the box. Use this with your socks off. Use this with bare feet. It works better. Anyway, but Gerard Gibson's question is on the screen right now. And I struggling with the best way to respond. I was looking for my camera bag. It must be downstairs. Maybe I could use this. I don't want to pull anything out. This is what I'll say, Gerard. The answer to your question is yes. And you're saying, no, which one is it? I'm using both. My camera is connected to an Elgato 4K capture card, and every capture card is HDMI to USB. So I'm using HDMI coming out of the camera into the capture card, and then USB connecting into the computer. So that's how my current configuration is set up. Now, there are cameras on the market, like the ZVE10, which is a crowd favorite, a personal favorite of mine as well. The ZVE10 doesn't require a capture card. You can actually connect it using USB. And I have used it that way, and it looked great. You are not getting full quality out of the camera. So it's up to you. It's not a make or break, but if I was just to answer how am I using it myself, that's the answer. I'm using it coming out of the camera. I'm using a HDMI cable that connects to the capture card. The capture card is connected to the computer using USB. Hopefully that answers the question. And I thank you. I thank you for asking the question. Tunde says it was the socks off pedal. Hilarious. Oh, David Hunt says, just get a Mac already. For real. The comments are flowing here tonight. Okay. But yeah, Gerard, I hope that you're still there. I hope that you got that answer. I mean, it's right there in the specs of any of the cameras. They'll tell you that USB isn't quite going to give you the full quality of your camera into your computer system. So, but your computer system has to be able to handle it as well. And how many of us are really streaming at 4K? Anybody? So you can very realistically use the USB connection from the camera and not miss a beat, because you're not getting 4K into the system anyway. Now, here at this rig, this is where I record my videos. I'm not streaming at 4K right now, just because, that's not a thing. But I do record my own videos in 4K. So, and when I record them in 4K onto the computer in Ecamm, it does record in 4K. So again, it's going to come down to how you're using it. So on this particular rig, I want to make sure that it's able to send 4K to my computer so that I can record in 4K, so that I can have that 4K footage for whatever it is I'm going to use it for. But when I stream, I never stream in 4K. Not at least not now. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, cool. Listen, fam, this has been absolutely amazing. I had no idea that the world was waiting like this. So you may see me do another pop-up live at some point, because this was absolutely awesome. I thank you for your time and attention. Let me see what we got over here on Instagram. Kanik is also watching the live video. Thank you so much for coming over, babe. Truly appreciate you. David Hunt is asking me to put this up on screen. I'm like, yep, David, let me do it. So he says, if your like button is transparent, please make it solid. Thanks. Helps the algorithm. And he's absolutely correct. I thank you guys so much for your time and attention tonight. Definitely would love to get that like from you, but only if I deserve it. Only if I deserve it. For my family over on Insta, this is not the last you have seen of me. In fact, you will see more of this kind of content. Unfortunately, this way that streaming works on Instagram, this is no fault of any of the streaming platforms. This is just the way Instagram does it. I actually cannot save this video on Instagram. So once I go offline, that video on Instagram, I have access to it, but you can't watch it. So it's almost like TBD. It's like they built in the to be deleted. And for those who know, you know. Gerard Gibson is sneaking right in under the wire with one final question. One more question. He says, record on the camera or software? Just depends on your workflow. Recording on camera is going to always give you a better quality. Sorry about that, y'all. I got a case of the yawns, and most people are going to be like, oh, Kirk, you're tired, go to sleep. That's not it. That's an actual condition that I have. I haven't had to even explain this in a long time, but it's an actual condition that I have where I just get a case of the yawns for no good reason. Anyway, Gerard says, record on camera or software. Software, like Ecamm, does a really good job, but I have noticed that when I record on camera, it does look better. It does look higher quality than when I record through the software. So that's just a limitation. But because of my workflow, I don't want to have to go into the camera, take this SD card out, and then connect it to my computer, copy off the files. I don't want to do any of that stuff. Plus, I don't want to have to reach over and hit the record button on the camera. Don't want to do that. I love hitting the Stream Deck pedal to start my recording and hitting it again to finish the recording, and knowing that that file is already sitting on my computer ready to upload to Google Drive so that my editors can have their way. It's workflow at this point. So definitely workflow. Workflow is going to dictate which one is the best one. Now, what is the difference between the quality of recording in the camera and recording in Ecamm? Negligible, but there is a difference. I want to make sure that I don't want anybody to walk away and be like, oh, Kirk, it is actually better in the camera. It's absolutely better from the camera, but it's the difference between the two is not that big. And one of the things I always say to folks is done is better than perfect. I'm not looking for it to be, I'm not recording a Hollywood video. I'm recording a video that's going to go on YouTube, and maybe 300-400 people might watch it. Maybe 10 million people watch it. I actually don't know. And so I'm going to make it as best as I can. And one of the things that allows me to get the video done is my workflow. So many times people don't really look at the whole picture there. So if I was to just answer your question, which one is better, I would say to you, recording in the camera, and I could shut up. And then you may walk away and say, okay, Kirk says the better way to do it. Nope, that's actually not what I said. Actually, what I said is you're going to get better quality if you record it in the camera. You're going to get better quality if you record it in the camera. But does that enable you to get it done? When I walk into the room here, I have an idea downstairs, and I'm like, that's a video. I can walk upstairs and I can say, HEY Google, turn on my studio lights. And once I say that, all these lights come on and I'm ready to record. I don't know what happens in Instagram where that thing just zooms in. I don't know what is going on with that. That is weird. But that workflow allows me to crank out content. So somebody was asking earlier, like, man, how do you have time? This studio, this set that you see right here, this does not move. Somebody says, hey, we want you to come do such and such for us over here. None of this moves. I have another set of stuff that I will take with me. This set must stay here like this so that I can always be ready to record and do what I need to do. Because for me, my content is my funnel. My content is how people come into my ecosystem. It's how I book the business. It's my number one lead magnet. And what I teach people how to do is to get to the bag. And the bag in your case for a nonprofit, maybe for a faith-based organization, the bag might be the person, and having them have that, one-on-one realization that they are in need of a savior. Maybe that's the bag for you. But for my business folks, my coaches, author, consultants, maybe you're looking to book bigger gigs, speak on bigger stages. I'm trying to show people how you can get to the bag with your content. And one of the ways that you get to the bag is you got to recognize that done is better than perfect. Get the video out there. And if you messed up on it, you get to redo it because YouTube rewards new content. I'm done with y'all tonight. Tunde says done is better than perfect. It looks like I got the stamp of approval on that one. Okay. Tess Smith is also sneaking in. Just want to thank you for the content you do. I just started learning to use StreamYard and Canva for a soccer podcast we are doing in Australia. I'm a visual learner, so your videos help. Boom. Do you see? I don't know if Georgia, Inspiration by Georgia, is still here. And I see your comment that says, this was great. Thanks again. I will definitely be booking. But this is what I mean when I talk about understanding who my target audience is. It's not just from a content perspective. It's also from a delivery perspective. My audience learns visually, and Tess is a great example of that. That's how I learn, and that's how I teach. And so if you're not a visual learner, my content's not for you. And if you don't like somebody who gets excited and jumps up and down, probably I'm not for you. And that's okay, because guess what? There's somebody else out there that's gonna be doing similar content to me in a totally different way. And that's what it's all about. George says she's here, but that's, if you read this comment, George, this is exactly why I was asking earlier, who are you serving? Do you understand who that target audience is? Because when you do, the algorithm will help you find those people. And when they find you, they are absolutely going to fall in love with your content because you're doing it in a way that speaks specifically to them. Tess, I want to say a word of thanks to you for coming through tonight, because your comment really helped to solidify some of the points that we made earlier. But also, I just want to say thanks because you're in Australia. I don't know that I've ever seen you on my live stream before, but I'm super excited that our content is helping you get across the line. You named two platforms that I absolutely love, StreamYard and Canva. I love both of them. I use them regularly for client projects. In fact, I'm probably in Canva more often than I care to admit. I need to do more content on Canva. That's just the truth. So thank you for that reminder. But thank you for also being with us tonight. And I want to say a word of thanks to the rest of you. 13 of you on the live still here and on the different platforms. We had a really good time tonight. This video will stay up over on YouTube, but on Instagram, it'll disappear. So if you're on Instagram, just hit my YouTube link and you can catch the replay. Fam, I'm going to catch it. Yeah, she says first time here. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for your time and attention tonight. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Listen, your live stream is your digital storefront. Yeah, there's no better way to go from busy and broke to peaceful and paid than for your ideal customer, your ideal audience member, your target, to see you do your thing live. And when they see you do it live, they don't need the taste test or the ad campaign. They're ready to book the business. They're ready to book the consult. They're ready to have you come and speak. They're ready for the consultation because they saw you do it live. And there's something that happens while live that you cannot mimic, you cannot harness any other way. And one of the things I love to share with people right here, right at the close, is that live streaming, the short version of that is live. And it's not just a play on the word. It's because when you're live, it's like being alive in real life. It's like going to the grocery store and talking to the person in the aisle as you're looking for those cookies that your daughter loves. It's like being in line at your coffee shop and talking to the barista and having a conversation with them, because that's what this live is about. And I don't know what the next statement is going to be. I don't know what your questions are going to be. I have no way to prepare for them because it's live. That is the component. That is the missing piece. That's the secret ingredient. That's the part that people don't talk about. When you're live, you're actually live. And when you're live, it drastically cuts down on the time it takes for people to know, like, and trust you. It drastically cuts down on the time it takes for people to book the business, because you showed them your superpowers, your secret sauce, while you were live. That's all I got. I'm going to catch you on the next one. We'll see you around these internet streets or in the next video. Later, fam.